So हाम्रो अर्को स्पिकरको टपिक रहेको छ power vested in me. So this is also another interesting topic. So without further delay, I would like to call upon the stage a student from Noble College, Miss Anushka Thapa.
When I was 10 years old, my father used to tell me that I am the strongest and fastest among my siblings. I could run as fast as Flash whenever I saw a street dog or a cockroach, and especially if the cockroach could fly. So, when I was small, my father also used to tell me that I did not require any assistance to move very big objects from one place to another, and I used to use very weird tactics to get out of the situation. So let me tell you a story. So it was Baitika, and I think every one of us are well aware. There is a ritual where we are supposed to break down this really hard walnut, which we call in Nepali Hare Okhar. I think every one of you know that, right? Okay, so what happened was I broke down the ochre and we did that ritual, we did puja, my siblings were having fun, my cousins were having fun, my uncles were playing cards and everything was fun. But the person that I am, walking around my house like I own this world, and as I was walking around my house and I reached the rooftop, I accidentally smashed the similar ochre in one footstep and burst it into pieces. I was so scared, I was so petrified, I didn't want anyone to know, especially my mother, because I thought it was a bad omen in a very auspicious day. So I looked around my environment to see if anyone was there. And as I saw my father sitting there on chair, looking at the bizarre adventure of his daughter, looking at the expression, I could sense he was confused that the person standing in front of him is either his daughter or Hulk from the Avengers movie who has turned a city upside down with her power. She-Hulk. But moments later, I was so scared, but moments later my father burst out into tears, he burst out into laughter. By looking at what I did, he actually praised me for my kind of strength and the weird tactics that I was going to use to get out of the situation. I felt so powerful, and the power vested in me during my childhood was the power of strength. But as I turned out into a teenager, I was more of an energetic person. You know, the kind of person who was much more into extracurricular activities rather than studies. As a typical teenager that I was, I wanted to explore things, get into adventures, get to meet people. And the power vested in me during my teenage period was the power of energy. But few years later, when I turned into my early 20s, I was not happy and I was not contented at all. I was comparing myself to my friends, to their achievements. I lost my best friend. I could see my parents struggling for money. And the power vested in me during that time was the power of despair and hopelessness. Ladies and gentlemen, life is a full roller coaster ride with ups and downs. And I'm pretty sure many of you have been through a situation where you have gone into despair. So what was that magical moment that made you come out of your despair and hopelessness? What was that magical moment that made you rise like a phoenix from the ashes? What was it? For me, it was when I discovered my power. And I call it Anushka's Fantastic Four. And they are, number one, power of purpose, power of love, power of consistency, and power of resilience. So I was a very independent girl at a very young age. From 19, I was earning on my own. I was looking after myself. I did not depend on my parents, but I was never happy because I was not happy with the work that I was doing, and I was purposeless in life. And ladies and gentlemen, that fueled the power of hopelessness and despair in me. But as soon as I discovered what I wanted to do, what the purpose of my life was, I left my job and went into the journey. And ladies and gentlemen, I got my power of energy and my power of strength that I had lost years ago. And I also know the power of consistency and resilience that I have will never let me allow to back down even in the most bizarre situation of my life. And that is why I am here as the top 15 finalists in front of you all speaking on this stage. Ladies and gentlemen, every human beings have power inside of ourselves which makes us superhuman. And if you're like me who has already figured out your powers, amazing, congratulations. But if you're someone who has not figured out your powers, remember what Queens once said. And they said, "We are the champions, my friend, and we keep on fighting till the end." Ladies and gentlemen, the question that I've been asking myself for years, even today till when I wake up, is something that I want every one of you to listen, discover, and ask yourself. What is the power vested in you? Thank you.